Live from the Norvinsk region, I'm Tarkov reporter. Welcome to our Twitch Rivals recap show. On this podcast, we'll be talking with members of the Tarkov community who are involved in various Tarkov community events, whether competitive or not. Given that Twitch Rivals was this week, I wanted to chat with a few of the competitors about their experience. So, before the event, I reached out to a few Twitch affiliates who participated in Rivals to come on the show, and I'm grateful to our guests today, Arsyn and Craysin, who we'll talk to a little bit later. For those who don't know what Rivals is, though, Twitch puts on a series of competitive events throughout the year for various games. Escape from Tarkov had 2 Twitch Rivals trios of competitions in the last couple weeks, EU Rivals on May 11th and NA Rivals on May 18th. Usually, Twitch invites Twitch partners to the events and they are then able to invite people to be on their team. Thankfully, we saw a ton of Twitch affiliates get the invite to play. We love to see that too, because the exposure from events like this can propel someone into Twitch partnership. Now, just on the event format, I thought these versions of Rivals events were pretty fun to watch, better to watch in the past at least. Now, there's lots of things they can still do to improve upon the event. We'll get into those things with some of our guests, and I'll say my piece at the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, let me know in the comments what you thought about the Rivals events and how they can improve upon in the future. If you're listening on Spotify, tweet at Tarkov Reporter on Twitter to let me know your thoughts. Let's not waste any more time. Here's one of the legendary voices of the Tarkov community and Twitch Rivals champion, Arsyn. All right, I would like to welcome in Arsyn, the Fire Lord himself, the voice of Twitch, and now Twitch Rivals champion. Arsyn, how the hell are you today?
I am on cloud 9 still. Hasn't quite worn off yet. It's kind of a big deal for me. So
yeah, I love that for you. How were the celebrations last night? Yeah, I heard y'all were having some fun after.
oh yeah, no, we we drank a lot, and there was a lot of stuff happening. It was hard for me to keep up with everything, but it was a night that I'll never forget. And yeah, it was. I'm so happy about it. So happy.
Absolutely. You were playing with Queen and Sharptooth. Are those two people you play with a lot normally? How did you guys do any preparation beforehand?
Actually, no. I don't really play with Sharp much, and I should play with him more. I actually very much enjoy him. The issue is that our stream schedule is kind of he's on when I'm off, you know, when I'm getting ready for bed and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Queen, I play with Queen sometimes. We kind of share a friend group, but for the most part, no, I haven't really played with them too much, but they play together all the time.
Right.
Um, yeah, but Sharptooth, you know, reached out to me and said, "Hey, you down for Twitch Rivals?" And I'm like, yeah.
Easiest decision of your life, eh?
Oh, 100%, 100%. Yeah, so I was very, very happy about that. He actually invited me to the last one.
Oh, cool.
We didn't do so well in that one, but we won this time, baby.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. How did you feel like you guys worked together as a team? How did you feel like the team cohesion was in this tournament?
I thought it was pretty good, honestly. I took more of like the I wouldn't say leadership role, but like, you know, if I felt like we needed to hurry up, like I was stressing it, like, oh, we need to go, like, you know what I'm saying? We need to get going here.
Yeah.
Um, but we did practice a little bit before, had a couple raids before the event, a couple days prior, and that kind of helped a little bit. But I feel like it just worked, it clicked, you know.
Absolutely. Was there anyone you were excited to play against, or anybody that you were like a little bit on edge about playing against in these lobbies?
Oh my goodness, yeah. I mean, if you look at the lineup,
Yeah.
I mean, every single one of them is gamers. You know,
Yeah.
like they are great players. So, you know, honestly, it was. I don't consider myself. I consider myself decent, but there's a lot of players that are better than me. So yeah, I think every lobby was like, all right, who's in here? It's going to be a tough one because we were all playing against each other, and that I think is fantastic. But when we, for some reason, were able to push it to the grand finals, and I saw Sensei Scav's team in there, Finest and Some Man
Yeah.
are my great buddies. You know, Some Man's like my number one duo.
Yeah, Team Corn.
So yeah, Team Corn, baby. So yeah, so playing against those guys, it was like a feeling that's just like we made it to the finals. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Out of everybody in here, and that's I don't know. It was just unreal. So yeah, playing against them in the finals was nuts.
Yeah. I bet it's kind of cool to see, your friends finishing up top too. That's got to be a neat feeling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I noticed you killed. I think it was in the last raid. You killed Batty, and you were like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Batty." Oh man, that's it's tough running into your friends and ruining their days like that too. But
Yeah, that was difficult because like I didn't know he was lost,
okay,
but I
yeah,
knew I didn't know that till afterwards, but he was lost down there. He didn't know where he was going, and I knew there was one way for him to go, and I was just waiting for him. I knew he was coming up. I heard him down there, so I positioned myself, and he comes running up, and just I felt so bad for that, to die like that. But if that doesn't happen, we don't win.
for
So
sure, for sure.
yeah.
And to get you to the finals, I think it was Queen that had an absolutely massive. Was it Woods raid that got you
Oh
there?
yeah. Oh
That was
yeah. No,
nuts.
Queen went to a different level.
Yeah,
I think me and Queen are very similar players in the sense that when the pressure is on, we just play better. You know, me and Sharp went down instantly. We didn't do anything to contribute to that. We just died. But Queen, she killed 3 players, Sturman, and got a battery by herself. She did all that
yeah.
solo. Um,
Put the team on
and
our back in that one. That's for
Hundred
sure.
percent,
Yeah.
100%, and we won that raid, or we got second by 9 points. So if she doesn't get that battery out, uh,
Oof.
it's a different story. So that was clutch.
Absolutely. Were you all aware of where you were in the standings in during those raids?
Yeah, yeah, we after the customs raid when we made it out of that one, because when you look at the standings, or if you look at how the tournament is, the winners bracket, the first 2 teams move on to Woods. Well, if you lose, you go to Woods too. But
Right.
if you win customs and you win Woods, you go straight to the grand final. You skip
Yeah.
interchange and shoreline.
Mhm.
So we were definitely paying attention to see if that happened. Um, and yeah, it was kind of surreal to think about that.
Now
Like
going
just
back to the achievement hunt, was there anything that you liked or disliked about that? Which one of the quests did you find easy or way too hard?
I'd say the hardest quest on there is probably the 20 dog tags because I mean
Yeah.
PvP, you literally got to get like everybody's tag in every round
Hmm.
to get that achievement. So I think that's a little much. But um going into it before, I was really worried about Gluhar because that is so RNG based where you spawn and where he spawns.
Exactly.
Um but it was fantastic because the first raid we were running to White Knight, and Sharptooth sees them spawn by K buildings and Hermetic, and he starts popping off. And we were able to push up, and I was able to get the headshot on Gluhar. And first raid, first 5 minutes of the raid, we had that done. And then we walked over there to loot him, and he had an Ash 12 on him, and we were able to get that out. So we got that done. Boom. And we got we killed all the guards. So a lot of us had a lot of guard kills, and we were able to finish that the next round. So we had all our
Nice.
Gluhar quests done, and that was the one thing that I was stressed out the most about. 100-meter headshot, I was a little worried about, but Sharp got that no problem. The dehydration one, that one was pretty straightforward. The AVG, or the grenade launcher and the machine
Yeah.
gun kill, that's
Hmm.
a little difficult. Didn't think we were gonna get that done. The melee kill, uh, but we did so well during that, and I'm so proud of them because we all did work. There was no dead weight. We all did work.
Absolutely. I mean, to go through the people you went through, all those rounds to be the champions, that's that's impressive, man. That's wild. Like I would have been cowering in fear in these lobbies. I'm telling you that.
Yeah.
Oh man, the playoff system. What did you think about that? It seemed, from an outsider's perspective, seemed a little convoluted to me, as like kind of like 4 losers brackets or something. I didn't really know what was going on in the bottom half, but I guess you didn't really
Yeah,
look into
no, it
that.
was the layout, it's very confusing at first.
Yeah.
But once you get it and understand it, it actually is I thought it was brilliant,
Hmm.
honestly. Um I mean, as somebody who was able to skip interchange and shoreline, like that is, I am so glad we didn't have to play those maps like
Yeah.
that. Night and day difference. I think if we have to play those, I'm singing a different tune today. But um, I liked it because I thought it was unique, and it gave like the win. It gave you like a reason to try to win and give it your best. But
Sure.
also, if you lost from that, you were able to have a second chance. You know. Um, so I thought it was kind of cool. I thought it was great. Hopefully, in the future, they do something similar. I think if you actually learn that and get it, I think it's wonderful. I thought it was great.
Is there anything that you would change about these kind of Twitch Rivals events going forward?
Um, honestly, I liked I really liked the amount of people that were in. I mean, that's a lot of people. 70
Yeah,
people?
that's a
That's a
ton.
lot of
Yeah.
people. I liked the trio format. I thought that was great.
Mhm.
I thought we had the right amount of money. I didn't think we had too little. Obviously, if you're losing, yeah, it's gonna suck. I know a lot of people towards the end had nothing.
Right.
Um, the only thing that I wish that they would change is maybe have the achievement map on customs or something. You know what I mean? Something a different map and kind of spread that out a little bit.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, I don't. I mean, I thought that was fantastic. I mean, maybe some rule changes. Uh, I don't really know what you would change, but I mean, other than that, I thought it was great. I thought it was great. Yeah.
Absolutely. And what were you seeing from like a broadcasting standpoint? Were you seeing like a lot of new people coming into chat? Were your regulars enjoying it? What do you think happened with that from that perspective?
Oh yeah, no, I had a lot of people coming in. I mean, especially after the
Yeah,
freaking we won.
for sure.
It was hard to keep up, but yeah, no, the people who watch me every day, they were in there having fun. A lot of people took off work to watch it.
Nice.
Um, and it was just like it was a crazy feeling. People actually want to watch this. They actually are invested in this. Like this is a big deal. So uh during we had a lot of people in, but I didn't have alerts on, plus a 2 minute delay made it very hard to interact with them. So um yeah, no, it was busy. It was busy.
Yeah, I can imagine so. Um, Now you don't have to comment on this if you don't want to, but I noticed that there was no winners interview, and that seemed a little odd to me. And I heard that was because y'all didn't have cameras, and that strikes me as odd and pretty dumb. um, Again, you don't have to say anything about it if you don't want to. Just pass. But if you had thoughts on it, I wanted to hear it.
Uh I mean, it's kind of ironic that a bunch of no cam streamers won this thing,
Yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah,
I mean, that's gonna change for me in the future. I do plan on getting a cam. But I don't know how you can't just pull us up in a Discord and have
right,
us talk.
yeah.
I don't understand all that, but I'm just some idiot that plays Tarkov. I don't know the logistics behind the Twitch rival stuff, so I wasn't too upset about it.
Yeah,
Um, but at the same time, I feel like he could have done it,
yeah,
but it's
yeah.
all good.
I agree with you. I agree with you. If you don't mind, I'd like to get into a little bit of your background. Now, you call yourself the best voice on Twitch, or sorry, the voice of Twitch.
Uh-huh.
And I appreciate stuff like maybe lock them doors and turn them. Do you
Uh-huh.
have like vocal training in your history, or is this stuff just natural for you?
No, it's all natural, dude.
Damn.
No vocal training. I mean, from a very young age, you know, I just sung a lot of songs. I don't know, that was the only thing that I did, and I tried to sing the song the best I could, and, that's the only practice that I have in terms of singing, but this voice, yeah, I know I get a lot of compliments on it. I'll be honest, when I hear it, I cringe, but I think everybody hates their own voice,
Sure,
so,
sure, sure. Yeah,
yeah, no, I know, that's it. That's all natural, dude.
that's cool. What's your favorite kind of music?
To be honest, I like everything. Like there's a lot of songs that I like in every genre. Like there isn't one specific one that I like. It's all over the place. Like artists, man, I like a lot of different artists. I may not like every song that they
Mm,
do, but I like a lot of different. You know what I mean? I'm all
hmm.
over the place, man.
Yeah,
I'm
and
not. I don't really have a particular favorite. If I can sing it, if it's in my voice range, I usually tend to like that more.
okay, fair.
Yeah.
Little Josh Turner is perfect for you.
Baby, lock them doors.
Oh God, thank you. Now, also you're from Minnesota, correct? And you're a big sports guy.
Yeah, yeah.
I wanted to
Hmm.
get your thoughts on the current state of Minnesota sports. T Wolves not having a great season.
No,
No. All right.
unfortunate.
Yeah. What do you think is going to happen with them? Can they hold on to Towns? Can they turn this around?
Honestly, I think they can because I mean injuries plagued them this year. So uh, Anthony Edwards showing up in a
Yup.
big way. Like he's probably the best player on the team now, which is crazy.
That's nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. Russell's, on there. And Russell wanted to play with Towns. Towns wanted to play with Russell. I think if we can have a full season with them, healthy, I think it'll be all right. I think they'll be fine. I like what the team's doing. I know they didn't have a good season this year, but I like what they're doing. I can't wait to see them next year.
Yeah. No, there's optimism there for the first time in a while, I feel like.
Oh yeah,
That's
100%.
exciting. And you're also a big Vikings fan. Now, do you think they can win it with, you think they can contend with Cousins under center?
I do. Now I like to think of Cousins as a Joe Flacco type quarterback, right?
Okay.
Like the Baltimore Ravens,
Yeah.
they won with Joe Flacco, but they had a crazy defense, a good running back, right?
Hmm.
So, um, a lot of people don't know this, but Kirk Cousins is actually a really good play action quarterback. Like he's one of the best ones in the game. So if you can get a good running game going, and if the O line can hold up, which was our biggest weakness forever, if that can hold up, and the defense can make a comeback, yeah, 100%, 100%, we can win with him.
All right. All right. And now, last night, when I was on stream, someone told me that you are an LSU fan as well. How does that work out? You're from Minnesota, but you're an LSU guy?
Well, for me, it's not. I don't like I the older I got, the more I understand the sport of football, the less I am just my own hometown fan. Like I'm a
Okay.
huge Kansas City Chiefs fan as well.
Right, right, right.
Um and I like the sport of football more than anything, right? So you got a lot of people that are just loyal to their hometown and that's all they know. They don't know anything else but their hometown. For me, I know a lot about a lot. And I know a lot of my favorite players that have come into the NFL have come from LSU. So that's the team I follow in college.
Cool. And now you got Justin Jefferson on your
Oh,
NFL team.
whew,
Yeah.
whew, whew, whew. Man is insane, dude.
Oh,
He's
he's a
so good.
stud. Yeah, love him.
Mhm.
Um, just to close out, I wanted to get a couple more questions from you on how you got into streaming in the first place and Tarkov as well. What brought you into this game, this community?
Uh, Actually, it's crazy. I had no intention to stream. I had no intention to play Tarkov. Zero. You want to know how I started to play Tarkov? And how I started to stream, it
Yeah.
was completely by accident. So, a friend of mine, one of my best friends I've been playing with since '08. It's been a long time. Um, I played DayZ with him. I played Arma 3 with him, that whole stuff. So
Okay.
Tarkov was right up our alley. I had no intention of buying this game, right? Um, but he bought it for me in 2018, November, Black Friday sale. Said, "Look, you're playing this, and that's just how it is." And I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? Say no? So at the time, I was heavily into World of Warcraft and had no intention to stop playing that. But I started playing Tarkov, and I just started streaming it because I was playing it, and that was it.
Right.
There was
Okay.
no intention of streaming at all. It was just like, might as well stream it because we're playing it. And then I had my Twitch name as my in-game name, and I did that before everybody was doing it. You know what I mean? Like that, and it wasn't intentional, really. The only reason I have TV in my name is so I could have Arsyn on all platforms. Um, and
Okay.
then I just added it to my Tarkov name, and people showed up after I killed them, or when they killed me, they showed up. And at that time, there wasn't a lot of mean people; like they're all
Right.
nice.
Yeah.
So that's how Arsyn TV became what it is. That's it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does seem like there's a little bit more toxicity in the community now, unfortunately, but I feel like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like this community is pretty great for the most part. Like I,
Oh, 100%.
yeah, I enjoyed Tarkov community.
The best community in any gaming community out there, and it sucks when you see all the people hating on the game, um, in its current state, or people playing a certain way,
Mhm.
when really we have the best community on not only Twitch but the gaming community. Like, why are we complaining about it so much? Like, we have it made. So I'll
Absolutely.
never understand it. I'm one of the few people that have stuck with Tarkov despite, wipes getting stale, or despite all the desync issues that it has and stuff like that. I still get on every day and have a fun time playing it.
Hell yeah, man. Same here. Um, that's all the questions I had. Arsyn, I really appreciate your time. And congrats again, Rivals champ.
Yo, thank you so much, dude. I had a lot of fun. I love doing these, so I appreciate it. Thank you for reaching out, bro.
Absolutely, dude. Talk to you again soon.
Have a good one.
My many thanks to Arsyn for taking the time to be with us earlier this week. You can find him over at twitch.tv/ArsynTV. I will link to that in the description as well. Next, we sat down with Craysin, who played with Genitals and J Dream. And although they didn't make the playoffs, I love they were part of it. Here's Craysin on his experience in Rivals. All right, I would like to welcome in Craysin, a military history major and Twitch affiliate who streams Escape from Tarkov and participated in Twitch Rivals earlier this week. Craysin, how the heck are you, man?
I am doing good, dude. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, thank you for being here. Now, you played with Genitals and J Dream, two people you play with a lot, I believe. Now, how did it come about that you got to be on this Rivals team?
Well, it's kind of that one's a funny story. So, last year Rivals came around, right? And Jen got an invitation, and so did Action Jackson. And well, I woke up to a message one day in a chat that we have, and it was from Jen, and it was like, "How did it go?" It said, "Good news, you both are invited to play in the Rivals, but Action Jackson dibs both of you, so I gotta respect the dibs rule, and you guys will be on Paul's team." And we were like, "All right," but she's like, "Next time I dibs you guys. You guys are on my team." We were like, "All right, that's cool. No, like no worries." So last year we played. Last time we played with Action Jackson, and that was a good time. And we played. It was different. It was that bingo format that they
Yeah, I
had.
remember that.
And so then this year, Jen, she's like, "All right, boys, the time is here." And we're like, "All right, go, game time," right? Like, we're here for you. We got your back.
She made good on her dibs call. I like that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I respect it.
Yeah.
Like I'm dibs for. I
Hey,
gotta respect that.
absolutely.
Hey,
Absolutely. Respect the dibs. So
Is-
this was your second time playing in Rivals then. How would you compare the two experiences?
um, like first and foremost, they're both like a really good experience and a really fun time. I know, like Clean says it time and time again, Tarkov is not a competitive game.
Right.
And I definitely see his point, but you take I think a real big example of taking this game from not being competitive to competitive would be Sigma and the Evasion team.
Totally.
And um they have just I don't even know the word, they have propelled the Tarkov into more survival based tournaments, which I think is really really cool. They've really changed the way, like, it's no longer just these round robin like Call of Duty tournaments, right? Like
Mhm.
everything that I grew up with was Halo or Call of Duty, or like I competed in some semi pro Gears of War stuff.
Cool.
But those were like the three, right?
Yeah.
And it's cool to see a company that is not a name brand company and pop a game out, and people are like, "Hey, like, what can we do with this?" And they have just totally taken it, and they've run with it.
100%. Like, we're all
And
competitive people, right? We want an opportunity to compete, even if it's not a quote unquote competitive game.
absolutely, absolutely. And I like, honestly, like, my hat is off to Sigma and the Evasion team. Like, not like Sigma helped me a lot getting started in
Mm.
Tarkov. Like, Sigma like reached her hand out and she's like, "Hey, Craysin, we're gonna help you out." And it was like, I really appreciated that. And they're all amazing people. They're all great people, and they run a great thing. And you'll like if you follow anything Tarkov on Twitter, you see all of these different tournaments popping up.
Yep.
These tournaments were far and few between last year.
Oh,
The
totally.
last couple years, last 3 years, I think that's how long Sigma and the Evasion team have been doing the Evasion battle, the streamer battles. Um,
Yeah, they're in season 4 now, so it's been at least
mhm.
a few years for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and so like they were the only ones on the market.
Yeah.
And so now things have popped out, and they actually have an esports team, which I think is fucking awesome. Like
Right?
it
Yeah.
is so cool. Like,
There's
you
some
know,
gamers on
so
that team too. There's some freaking gamers on that team.
Kippen, Tweak, Blitzer. I know
Yup.
there's a lot. Like I'm missing some, and I'm really sorry. I know Suddy is really good. Also, like um, they're just great. Everybody on that team is just a phenomenal Tarkov player and a phenomenal person, and that's just like I think that's just like the best part about the Tarkov community, or at least the lot of us who care about it. You know,
Mhm. For
we
sure.
really care about this community, and it really shows in everybody's character.
No, I totally agree. It's the best community. Everyone says it all the time, best community, even though we do have some toxicity starting to enter it a little bit.
You know, and honestly, we just that stuff you don't even have to reply to.
Yeah,
You just if we let that stuff run its course, and tomorrow's a new day. You know,
totally.
and
Now, I was going to ask you this later, but you did mention Sigma sort of was there to help you out to get started in streaming in
mhm.
Tarkov, and I wanted to ask you how you got into playing Tarkov and what got you into streaming. Tell me about your story from the start there.
Oh, wow. So I think July of this year, I will have been on this platform for a decade.
Oh my god!
I made my Craysin account in 2011, and I have been watching content creators, since that time. And honestly, I've been watching them before I made the account, right? Like,
Yeah,
um, but like I don't know, I never like growing up. It was like, oh, I want to be this or I want to be that, and it was like, well, I could do this, I could do that, and then I ended up just not doing anything after high school, and I worked for UPS for a while and watching these streams and these streamers, and I was like, man, that would be like that would be a dream job, like
yeah,
out of the millions of things in the world you can do, that like popped out to me, and I was like, well, hey, maybe I'll get to try that sometime. And so like I had streamed maybe once or twice or three times over the span of the creation of that, and it was mostly just like some League of Legends, and PUBG came out. And
mhm.
so that's when I had talked to do you know my friend Fluck?
Yeah. I've seen him online a few times. Yeah, for sure.
So Fluck is a good friend of mine. I've known Fluck for honestly probably longer than I've been on this platform. He's been a good friend of mine for a long time. Um but we played PUBG. We were doing decent at it, and we were like, "Hey, like we should like stream some of this stuff."
Yeah,
Like I think we got some good content. We should see if we can do it. And that's kind of just where it came from is, you know, it was at the end of July 2017. We actually started seriously streaming, and we both hit affiliate within that first week, and we've just been grinding ever since. And
nice man.
that's just PUBG. PUBG is what got me started on streaming.
Cool.
That's what
What
really
what
finally got me to cross that threshold.
what took you from PUBG into Tarkov, or what took you into Tarkov in general?
Well, PUBG just broke my heart. Um, eh, I honestly, I kind of saw where PUBG was going. About an early, like about a year before it kind of went that direction. It was like when it first came out. Oh my god, it was game changing,
Right.
dude. Like
Yeah.
that and Fortnite, like the battle
Yeah.
royale scene. Oh my god,
It's
changed
huge.
everything, right?
Yeah.
And it was great. But dude, I played PUBG for a year. I actually met J Dream through PUBG.
Cool.
I got to meet him at TwitchCon 2019 in person. He's a real good dude. But it's just I kind of just I saw that the updates weren't coming. I saw that they really weren't listening to their player base. You know, probably about a year and a few months after PUBG had been released, I was like, you know, this game isn't going to be doing well for the next few years, and
Mhm.
it brought me down to a point where it was like, man, I didn't even have fun streaming it because I just knew in the back of my mind that something it just was not going to be relevant in the next 2-3 years, and so I had dabbled a little bit in Tarkov. I had picked up the game. I had gone into a raid, just been absolutely just it just you almost need to wear a diaper for your first experience, dude. Like, I just remember being so afraid and being like, "Oh my god, this is so cool!" Because there's not a game that looks like Tarkov on the market, and there's not a
Nope,
game that plays like it, right?
not at all. Yeah.
And good god, so I had been playing it here and there with a friend of mine. We just kind of did a little customs, and he's like, "Okay, you know, I think I've got a good loot run." We won't run into anybody, and sure enough, we'd go do a loot run, and we would just get destroyed, right? Like,
Yeah.
you just get slapped, and, it was probably, like, 4 months after that, I was like, "You know, I really need to get serious with this game, like, I think this game is actually gonna do something," and I think it was, like, May or June of 2018, I started playing, like, seriously started playing Tarkov, and, um, Sigma came into my chat one day, and she's like, "Hey, like, you know, it's nice to meet you. I'm Sigma, like, yada yada. Like, I have a friend who was resetting his account. He wants to give away all of his stuff. Like,
Cool.
would you like it?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want that." You know what I'm saying? Like, and they did it like super kind. It was Sigma and the guy who actually ended up giving me his stuff. His name was Zukalicious,
Okay.
and he sadly no longer streams, but he's a good dude. Um, And it gave me cases and money and guns, and I was like, "Oh my god, I don't even know what to do with a lot of this stuff," right? Like, still had total gear fear. Um, but then it was like a wipe came around, and it started to get my bearings a little more. Started meeting people through the community. Started watching how people played, and just trying to mimic and emulate that kind of stuff to get more confidence. And um, shoot, man,
Yeah, dude, that that's awesome. I do want to switch gears back to rivals real quick. Um,
absolutely.
Now we talked a bit about how you got on team with J Dream and Jen. And
hmm
did y'all practice it? Do you have a strategy when you went into this? What were y'all thinking?
I mean, I know we had watched some videos and I had taken some notes and I'd kind of tried to figure out like what the game scenario was going to be, you know, and
Yeah.
sometimes EU and NA, like you'll see it a lot in the league, like they'll play a little bit different. They just
Mhm.
do different things. It's just two different countries, right? Like, and it's really cool. And I forgot where I was going with this. um
That's all right. You're talking about trying to get ready for something when you don't know what
oh,
the
sorry. Yeah, totally lost my train of thought there.
Okay.
Um But we had practiced a little bit the night before, and honestly, we ended up just having more fun than anything. We ran kind of just derpy kits, and we had a good time. We killed people, we died, we laughed, you know, we TK'd, we did, like honestly, it was just a night that needed to be had, you know, like you can practice and practice, and you can get super serious, and you can just grind, dude. But like at the end of the day, like if you know your teammates well enough to where you can just joke and meme and have a good time with it, you know, like, dude,
Yeah.
honestly, you don't need any practice, you know, like,
Totally.
and like Jay and Jen and I, we've all been playing for like a year and a half every Wednesday now. Um, So I mean, we play with each other a lot. We know how each other plays, and like I have full confidence in both my teammates. So like I never
Right.
have any doubt in them. I know that I'm confident that they think the decision they're going to make is correct, and I support that all the way. Like I am there to back them up with whatever they need, and like we did well. We did well.
Hell yeah. Um, Now, I remember it was coming down to the end, and you guys were pretty close to getting to the playoff round.
Ah,
Were you aware of how close it was, and like
I I had no idea.
okay,
Okay, so like I knew we couldn't have been doing that bad, right? Like
right,
we had had some good rounds. We'd made some solid stuff. We had gotten some good achievements done. Jay got the wipe a whole team on one person and extracting, which was huge.
hmm
Um, man, we needed a glue heart kill and we needed a dehydration kill.
right.
And Jen had lost her 1v1 at the ticket booth behind Rook. And honestly, oh, I'm kicking myself because I could have played it so much better. But like, man, I just played. I treated it like it was just a normal thing, right? And I shouldn't have done that. But I went over there and didn't even think about it because the information I had was Jen was like, yeah, he killed me with a shotgun, and didn't even think about the fact that Jen had an M4.
Yeah, you definitely picked
And
that
so
up.
I
Eh?
walked over to the ticket booth, man, and I got clapped. And in reality, I should have just stayed in the Rook building and I should have just held the ticket booth because I probably would have killed him. And it was actually Velian who ended up killing me.
Yeah,
And he after that he went to have that clutch that clutch on the train. And so
yeah,
like
and that
like
team
the man's a beast.
they went to the finals on that
They
run.
did.
Yeah,
They they went through the whole losers bracket,
yeah,
my
that's
dude.
insane. Yeah,
That is a Cinderella story. And the fact,
absolutely.
I mean, even third, top three for that dude. Well played. Bravo.
I don't know if you were watching like at the end when uh like in the very final round when Vel and Batty and Kings like went down one by one. Just the look on Valiant's face. Like you could
Oh
tell
man.
how bad he wanted it, man. Oh man, I felt bad. I felt really bad
Hey,
in that moment. Like he really
he
wanted
they
that.
like honestly, I felt like Batty and Kings were great partners for him.
Yeah.
Like Kings, like he's a real cool, calm, collect. He'll give directions, and like that's what he did. He's like, should I do this? And Kings was like, no, you do this. And he's like, okay. Like
Yeah.
Velian is that man is a damn good player.
Holy shit, he's scary. I don't
He
want to be in
is
his
a
lobbies.
right. That man is a top tier player,
100%.
and he is a top tier competitor as
Yep.
well. And it showed. It showed. Like he had a
Absolutely.
team that supported him, and it shows you like just what can happen.
Absolutely. That was one of the things I thought was really interesting was team construction, and this was really important because if you just had a bunch of W key guys, you weren't going to
Hmm.
succeed. You needed like different play styles on your team, I think, and that's how the finals sort of looked to me was a bunch of teams that had different types of players on them.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at Sharptooth's team.
Yep.
Sharptooth, Queen, and Arsyn, very different players, worked really well together.
Totally.
The same goes for Sensei Scav, right? Like
Yep.
Sensei, Sunman, and Finest, like they're all completely different players, but they worked brilliantly together.
Hmm.
Like I like man, having a good team like that, dude, you can just see it, like and it goes well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Was there anyone in this competition you were like a little bit hesitant to go up against? Like anybody you were like, oh my God.
Um, I don't like. Was trying not to like psych myself out on that
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I had a lot of nervous energy because everybody who was in that tournament is a pretty top tier player, I would
Yeah.
say, right?
Totally.
Like
I completely agree. Yeah.
so like I went in there with some nervous energy, but I also went in there with like a hey, like like you're a good player. Like this is Tarkov. Anything could happen, right? So
Mhm.
like you make a good call, a little bit of Tarkov RNG, anything is possible, And
Yep.
so I just kept trying to tell myself that just to keep it cool and like, but yeah, I was nervous. Like, like everybody in that tournament is somebody that could just tap you
Yep.
in an instant, and you would have no idea where from.
Yep. Mistakes were, if you made a mistake, you're going down for sure. Um,
Absolutely.
what did you think of the format in general for this time around for the like the achievement hunt and the playoff rounds?
I brilliant.
Yeah.
It yeah. So they actually I lied. Sorry. This is my third Twitch Rivals
Oh wow.
Tarkov
Okay.
tournament. The first one I played with Moxie and Fluck. But the two first Twitch Rivals, they did that bingo format with just how like the achievement hunt was set up, but it was a bingo, right?
Yeah.
So everybody fought to get bingos, and you could get up, down,
Diagonal.
horizontal,
Yeah. Yeah.
diagonal, and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And the first time around, we were like, "All right, this is fun." But then they gave us like items that like was impossible to get in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like one of the squares was find 15 hot rods. Sorry, like I looked at that
I
square and
remember that. I remember that.
I haven't even found 15 hot rods this wipe. Like, what do
Yeah.
you want
No
from me?
kidding.
What? Like,
Yeah. Uh,
um, and so I think they got a lot of feedback from that, and they implemented that into the second round, the second Twitch Rivals, and that one was a lot better. Those bingos were much more, they were much better constructed, and I think they got the feedback from that, and they're like, all right, well, this is what we're gonna do, and that's where they came up with the qualifications for the playoffs, and that being kind of a more PvP based dealio, and turned it into more of a tournament standing with the like kind of the Red Robin deal. And so that like honestly just I couldn't even tell you what they need to tweak, but like they really did a good job this time around, and I'm really really proud of them for it. And I think they're also figuring out that the Tarkov community is not just a community on Twitch. Like we are a really close, tight knit group, and I
yep.
think they kind of noticed that, um, especially with Sigma being up there commentating.
She
Like,
did fantastic. Yeah, that was great.
dude,
Hmm.
absolutely brilliant. I love seeing Sigma up there.
Yep.
Like, absolutely love it. Like, Sigma is our Tarkov mom, and dude, I love that lady. Absolutely love that lady. Um, But she's like, "Yeah, I know them, like, good friends, yada, yada," and you kind of, like, see it click. They're like, "Oh, like, these people, like, all know each other."
Yeah.
Like, we're not like, Fall Guys or, like, just, like, certain groups of people who play, like, Among Us or, like, we are we are like a whole,
Yep.
and, like, there's so many of us who stream and play Tarkov and just put time and effort into the game that it's just we are a family, and it is really awesome.
Completely
And
agree.
I'm glad Twitch Rivals got to see that this time around. I really hope that they continue to see that. And
Absolutely. Now, did you notice? Was your regulars in chat? Did they enjoy it as well? Were you getting more people coming in to watch that weren't regular, like people coming in following the channel? What was your thoughts from like a broadcast standpoint and like how it went for your channel?
I mean nothing but positives, just even being in there, they have when you watch the finals or when you watch the rivals, there was that little scroll bar on the right side of the window, and you could literally scroll down and you could just follow all the streamers. I had a bunch of new faces, a bunch of new followers, and like Twitch Rivals does a really good job of getting people's names out there,
Yep.
and I think it's awesome. Like it's also where was I going to go with this one? That's a good question.
You're saying
That's
about
all
getting
right.
people's names out there, but that's fine.
It sorry, this like shot has me just fatigued, man. I apologize.
You're good, man. You're good.
But no, it really is good for the people who play in it and the communities that they have grown and created, and to see them grow and flourish because of just playing in one Twitch Rivals is an awesome thing because everybody that plays Tarkov in our community works hard at it, and
Yeah,
so they all deserve the recognition
totally.
and to be loved. Like there's not a I dude I there's not a single person that like you could talk bad about because we're all just that tight knit, which is awesome. And I'm really glad that people got that recognition.
Absolutely. I love this community too. Um, that's all the questions I have for you, Craysin. I really
Oh yeah,
appreciate your
dude.
time today, especially having just had your second vaccination shot. That's hope you're feeling good by the end of the day. Get yourself some rest, man.
I definitely will.
All
Hey,
right.
thank you so much for having me, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
All right. Thanks again, Craysin. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, man. Have a good night.
Again, thanks so much to Craysin for being with us earlier this week. You can find him at twitch.tv/Craysin. That link will be in the description as well. Before we go, I want to say a few things about Rivals. First, well done by them. Better than previous versions for sure, but here's what they can improve upon. 1. They need a producer or co-producer who knows Tarkov inside and out. Too many times, either right in the middle of a fight or when two competitors were about to run into each other, they changed POVs to a completely different person. I was pulling my hair out. We nearly missed some huge moments. I think someone might have gotten their ear and pulled them back into it, so they redeemed themselves, but whew, it was close. Now, number 2, what the hell was the deal with no winners interview? I heard this was because none of them had webcams. And if that's the case, give your head a shake, Twitch. The winners deserved an opportunity to be in the spotlight for a few minutes, whether they have cams or not. You don't need to make a new overlay. Just run the same overlays you've been running the whole time. That really pissed me off, and I think that the winners really deserve this opportunity. So just give your head a shake, Twitch. This is a completely dumbass decision. Number 3, make sure your viewers understand the scoring system. In the playoff round, I don't think they did a very good job of showing us how the scoring system worked. And not only that, the point system wasn't available on the website. It wasn't available on social media platforms either. I feel like they could have created a graphic with a scoring system on it to show on stream and then publish online once the playoffs began. Other than that, though, it was a great event. Casters were fun. I love the lineup. Can't wait to see what they do next time. And that's going to do it for this edition of Live from Tarkov. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and soon TM on TikTok. All of those at Tarkov Reporter. Would love to hear your feedback on which members of the Tarkov community you would like to see on the show in the future. All right, go divide them cheeks. We'll see you next time.